The heart of Ali village, where the sun kissed the earth with golden warmth and the river whispered secrets to those who dared to listen, a girl named Adumbi was born. She was not just any girl, she was a chosen one, the one whom the gods had marked from birth. Her mother had dreamt of a great white egret circling above her hut the night before Adumbi entered the world, a sign that she belonged not to man but the gods. And so, from infancy, she was dedicated to the sacred temple of Orunla, the god of wisdom and destiny. Odumbi was raised in the temple and from the world of common people. She learned the sacred dances that were said to open the skies and bring rain, the chants that could heal the sick, and the rituals that tied the fate of the village to the will of the gods. Her movements, graceful and precise, became the language through which she spoke to Orula. She was revered and respected, yet behind the veil of admiration, she was also a prisoner, a woman promised to divinity but deprived of a life of her own choosing. One evening, during the festival of the rain blessing, where she was to perform the dance of supplication, she saw him, Afolabi, the young warrior who had just returned from the king's army. His presence was like the wind after a long drought, stirring something deep within her that had long been buried. His eyes met hers briefly, and in that moment, a silent conversation passed between them, one of longing, of curiosity, of forbidden possibilities. From that day, the walls of her sacred duty began to feel tighter around her. Her heart, which had always belonged to the gods, now whispered a different name. She sought out claims of her Folabi when she could, stealing moments between temple duties and endless prayers she was expected to recite. And Afolabi, drawn to the girl who moved like the river and carried the sadness of caged birds in her eyes, found ways to be near her. But love between a consecrated dancer and a mortal man was an abomination, a defiance of the gods themselves. The elders spoke of past maidens who had tried and failed, of women who had been swallowed by the earth or torn into trees as punishments for their betrayal. Yet Adumbe's heart had already made its choice. One moonless night, under the towering Iroko tree, at the edge of the village, they met in secrecy. "I cannot stop thinking about you," Afolabi conversed, his voice thick with restraint. "You dance for the gods. Do you not wish to dance for yourself?" Adumbi trembled, not from fear, but from the weight of the truth. "I do not know who I am outside of what they have made me. I am a bird who has never known the sky." "Then let me show you the sky," he whispered, and in the darkness beneath the watchful eyes of the ancestors, she let herself feel what it was like to be held by someone who saw her, not as a vessel of divinity, but as a woman. For weeks, they lived in ecstasy of stolen moments, of whispered names and trembling touches. But secrets are never truly hidden, not in a village where even the wind carried gossip. One evening, as Adumbi prepared for her dance, the high priestess called for her. "The gods are not blind," the old woman said, her voice heavy with unspoken warnings. "You have let your heart stray into the hands of a man. Do you think Orunla will not see?" Adumbi fell to her knees. "Mother, I've only done what any heart does. It beats. It loves." The priestess sighed, looking at the girl she had raised. Love is for women who are free, Adumbi. You are not one of them. A sacrifice was demanded. A choice was given. Either she abandoned her love and remained forever bound to the gods, or she would be cast out, stripped of her sacred title and left to fend for herself in a world that had never been hers. But even worse, should the gods be displeased, Afolabi's life could be claimed as punishment. Torn between duty and love, Adumbi sought out Afolabi. They would take everything from me if I choose you, she whispered, tears curving silent paths down her cheeks. And if you do not, he asked, holding her face as if trying to memorize her. The day you take you, she said, her voice breaking. Afolabi pulled her into his arms. Then we must run. The idea was madness. No one left Ali village without the blessing of the gods. Those who tried were cursed to wander, never finding rest. But love had made Adumbi restless. That night, as the village slept, she and Afolabi fled into the unknown, their fingers entwined, their hearts pounding as one. But the gods do not take betrayal lightly. The sky roared in anger, thunder crashing through the heavens. The river wanting to turn wild and furious, chasing them as if it had been given life by the gods themselves. As they reached the border of the village, a mighty wind knocked them to the ground. And in that moment, the Dumbe knew a ruler has come for them. The voice of the high priestess echoed through the storm. You were born for the gods, Adumbi. You cannot escape your fate. Folabi held her hand tighter, his grip unyielding. We will face them together. But the gods had already made a decision. A blinding light consumed them, and when it faded, they were gone. Some said they were taken into the sky, their love too powerful for the earth to contain. Others believed they became spirit of the river, forever running but never reaching the shore. And some, late at night when the rain is quiet, claim they can still hear the distant sound of a dancer's feet moving to a rhythm that does not belong to this world. And so, in Ali village, the legend of Adumbi and Afolabi lives on, a reminder that even the strongest love cannot always defy the will of the gods. But sometimes, just sometimes, it is worth trying.